All right, good evening, everyone. It is now 7:01 p.m. and I will call the Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. Suzanne Witkowski and myself are present. Ken Beausoleil is not able to attend tonight's meeting. But we do meet quorum so we can move forward with business. We will start with agenda item 1, which is call to order, which we did. Roll call. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I'm doing. It's one of those nights, clearly. Agenda item 2, we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
of the United States of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under
under
God, indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty.
and justice for all. All right, I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from August 19th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, any discussion, Suzanne, on these minutes?
No, they look good.
They did.
They always look good.
They do. They do. We have a great recording secretary.
Yes.
All right, all in favor of approving the meeting minutes from August 19th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, correspondence. We have from the Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, Troop D Danielson. July 2025, Troop D troopers responded to 166 calls for service in the town of Thompson. Of these calls for service, the most notable are 16 accidents, 21 investigations, 129 non-reportable matters. There was 1 DUI, 1 traffic citation, and 3 written warnings. We also have correspondence. It was addressed to me, but I thought that it was important to share it with the Board of Selectmen. As requested by the Planning and Zoning Commission at the August 25th, 2025 meeting, the following is a summary of my conversation with attorney Alan Curto of Halloran and Sage Law Firm on Tuesday, August 26th. And this is in relation to 1097 Thompson Road, where the junk has been amassing. And we've been working on this diligently since June. The enforcement complaint failure to willfully clean up property for 1097 Thompson Road LLC. All 3 entities, property owner, manager corporation, and principal associated with 1097 Thompson LLC, who is David Assar, is ready to be filed in the courts the week of September 2nd by Ken Slater. Item 1, she corresponds and says, delay was looking for tenant Zachary Harris without success. Harris is the tenant who left the trash, etc. 2, the town cannot clean up the property without a court order because we do not have a blight ordinance. And then the 3rd point was the attorney will request in the judgment that town proceed to clean up and bill the LLC. And if that LLC does not make payment, the town has the legal authority to put a lien on the property. And then the 4th item is that fines are going to be requested that will be retroactive to June 19th, 2025. Yeah, so I wanted to share that with the board. I know the public has been concerned. We have been working, but because it is private property, and most notably because there is not a blight ordinance, our hands are tied until we get that court order. So that was the correspondence for this meeting.
Amy, can I comment on that?
Sure.
This is something that needs to be shared with the public, because I can't tell you how many times I've been approached by community members with concerns about that property.
Right.
And is it inappropriate to put it on social media? Or to share?
Let me check with Cindy. I think pending the court judgment, I feel once we get the court judgment and the court order, we'll be able to share all the details maybe of why, but let me talk to Cindy. Let me talk to attorney Curto. But I agree. I have spoken to residents most recently in the last couple of days, and I've actually shared with them the information. But it
And
would
I-
share publicly.
And once it's in our minutes, it's basically public
Right.
information. So, yeah.
All right.
Thank you for reading that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other correspondence to bring before the board tonight?
I don't have anything.
I don't either. Move on to agenda item 5, selectmen comments.
I honestly don't have any comments either.
I don't either. So we'll move on.
Okay.
Citizen comments. We'll start with the Zoom audience. Any citizen comments from the Zoom audience? All right, citizen comments from the room. Any citizen comments from anybody in the room?
So,
Yes,
Anthony
absolutely.
Irby Hill Road here in town. I'm curious about the blight ordinance,
Mhm.
because this has been brought up to me in many of the questions that we have now running for selectmen, a future selectmen here in the town. Just curious to see what our current board has, as far as an opinion regarding a blight ordinance, or has anything been discussed of such?
I think 2 times so far in the last probably 20 years, a blight ordinance has been presented to the town and soundly defeated. So it was not something that I took up during my term. Obviously, I would personally be in favor of it. But there are a lot of town members who aren't, that feel that it's their property and they want to be able to do what they want on their property. But then there's the problem that occasionally you have a bad apple in the bunch and yeah,
Thank you for that.
yeah, absolutely. Rainey.
Amy, Randy Moore, 130 Pompeo Road, North Groveland, just to follow up on the comments about the blight ordinance. I think you're correct. It's come up a couple of times. However, I don't believe it's been given its right justice to the taxpayers. It's come up twice at a town meeting where the opposition stacks those, has stacked those 2 town meetings. I think there's a small minority of people who are against the blight ordinance in town, and they come out when that came up 2 times. I think if a board of selectmen
Mhm.
brought to a question at a town referendum, I think you would have a blight ordinance pass 80% or more to 20%. I think it's been the intent of boards of selectmen over the years, and I've worked with 7 or 8 of them in my time here as tax collector and now as the veterans officer, and maybe 2 or 3 more when I was on the board of finance. And I've never felt that any board of selectmen has ever given it an opportunity to pass. I think it's always been set up so that it fails.
Mhm.
And that's very disappointing because as we're hearing tonight, I think it's one of the major issues in this community. I hear that almost as much as how much people's taxes are, if you can believe it. That is a real sore point with a lot of people in the community. Why doesn't Thompson do anything about this place and that place and many places? So I just throw that out for whatever it's worth.
No, I like that point of view.
Maybe a future board of selectmen may consider bringing it to a town referendum.
And I think this case in particular, the 1097 Thompson Road has brought it really to surface again. And knowing that our hands are tied without the blight ordinance, that we have to go through the court system, could inspire people, even at a town meeting level, to approve it. There's a lot of new residents in town that have differing opinions about things like that. So, but what do you think, Suzanne? Since we're kind of kibitzing back and forth about it.
Rainey, it definitely did not go to referendum the last time it was brought up.
Yep.
It did
Oh,
not.
you're asking that?
Yeah.
I don't think it did.
I mean, I have mixed feelings. I believe that people pay for their property, they pay the taxes on it, they should have the right to do what they want. So I think if a blight ordinance is too restrictive, then it infringes on the property owner's rights. I think if it could be written in a way that it wasn't, too restrictive, then it could be good. And yes, there are lot of new residents, a lot of differences of opinion. And I think you're right, Rainey. I think it's a smaller population that believe we don't need a blight ordinance. But given this situation here, and I know there's a couple of other properties in the town of Thompson that would benefit from a blight ordinance, or the town would. But the problem is, once again, it's hard to enforce.
Any other citizen comments from the room? All right, hearing and seeing none, there is a second set of citizen comments if someone decides there's something they would like to say. We'll move on to the best part of our selectmen meetings. The Veteran of the Month. Thompson Veteran of the Month, September 2025. John L. Bell Sr. of Pompeo Road has been selected by the nominating committee to be recognized and honored as the September 2025 Thompson Veteran of the Month. Iran hostage war era veteran Petty Officer John Bell Sr. enlisted in the United States Navy in 1976 and received his honorable discharge in 1982. His initial 4-year enlistment was extended for 24 months in March of 1980 at the request and convenience of the United States government. Petty Officer Bell completed his basic training at Orlando Training Center in Florida and subsequently was deployed to the Great Lakes Training Facility in Illinois for advanced weapons direction and equipment training. After completion of his training in Illinois, Petty Officer Bell was assigned to the USS Barney Guided Missile Destroyer DDG-6 to begin a 4.5-year deployment that sailed him around the world. Petty Officer Bell was in Bandar Abbas, Iran, when the Shah was in power and during the Iran hostage crisis. Other operational deployments included an extended tour of duty to the Mediterranean Indian Ocean as an assistant divisional leading petty officer responsible for assignment of personnel to essential working parties, assignment of compartment and passageways, and mustering the division at quarters. Additional duties included divisional technical publications custodian and duty section master at arms, standing watches at anti-submarine rocket, ASROC rowing patrols, both in port and underway, and completing qualifications as import officer on deck. Petty Officer Bell was part of the maintenance in MK-74 Tatar missile systems weapons. Among the numerous ports of call during his deployment were Israel, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Oman, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, Greece, Italy, Djibouti, the Sudan, Kenya, and other remote ports of call. As part of his obligation and responsibilities at sea, Petty Officer Bell trained for the Nuclear Weapons Security Force, which included application of deadly force and overview on the operation and instruction in the use of the FC alarm and duress system. For his service, Petty Officer Bell was awarded the Battle E Efficiency Ribbon, the Navy Expeditionary Medal, the Sea Service Deployment Ribbon, and the First Good Conduct Award. John Bell was born in Texas, but has lived most of his life in Webster, Mass. And North Grovenordale, Connecticut. He graduated from Bartlett High School in 1969 and went on to study at Consigamon Community College in Worcester, Mass. And at Eastern Connecticut State University in Willimantic. Most of his professional life has been devoted to being a corrections officer as a lieutenant for the state of Connecticut prison system in Enfield, Somers, Brooklyn, and Corrigan, Rogalski correction facilities. John has also been extremely active in Veterans of Foreign Wars and American Legion veterans, and is a member of the Disabled American Veterans and the Polish American Veterans. John also served the town of Thompson on the Board of Selectmen from 2009 to 2011. He was past chair of the Thompson Zoning Board of Appeals and is a certified state of Connecticut election moderator. John is married to his longtime wife, Kathy Molinaro Bell. They have 2 sons, John Jr. and Louis Bell, and his wife, Erica. They're also proud grandparents of 4 grandchildren. Brendan, who's here today, correct? Petty Officer Bell, thank you for your service to our country from a very grateful community. At this time, I usually turn it over to our Veteran Service Officer, Rainey Moore.
Thank you, Amy, for those great words that you just read about John Bell. Before I start, I need to tell you that Ken Bosley, the second selectman, couldn't be here tonight, but when he came over to tell me that, he also asked me if I could relay to you his congratulations for your great award tonight, so.
Yeah, I served with Ken on the board of select.
I'm sorry,
I served with Ken on the board of select.
that's right, you did, exactly, so he wanted to make sure that
Thanks.
that he was thinking about you this evening, even though he couldn't be here. You know, as the Veterans Officer for the town of Thompson, I want to say on behalf of the entire community, congratulations for this really, really wonderful award. It's an award that I started, you're the 14th person to be awarded out of, I believe we have, last count was 431 veterans living in the town of Thompson. It's quite an honor to have been selected by the selection committee, made up of the first selectman and others in the community. This award is to say thank you to living veterans. Want to make sure that, you know, I've had requests in the last year or so, you know, somebody wanted to honor somebody who's passed away. But the award that this award that we set up was to honor living veterans while we could still honor them. And I think that's important. So I think we want to continue doing that. I will say that, having said that, that timing is always of the essence. Next month's Veteran of the Month, who is going to be honored, I found out last Thursday morning that he passed away. A 93-year-old Korean War veteran, a great veteran like all of you have been, and unfortunately, we're not going to get an opportunity to honor him. That's why it's important to try to honor the living veterans as quick as we can. So, having said that, I want you to know that as of the 1st of September, if you haven't already noticed, that your name is up in lights, like if you were in Hollywood, honoring you as the Veteran of the Month, and that's going to stay up there for the entire month of September. Additionally, on the Thompson website, if you go to it, this entire story profile of you is listed on there, as it will be in this week's Thompson, the weekly Thompson Village newspaper, and it goes beyond Thompson because they have editions of Putnam, Woodstock, Brooklyn, Killingly, and Webster also, and they have in all of those. It'll also be in next week's Putnam Town Crier, and it is also in, I don't know if you saw it or not, but in this today's Shopper's Guide.
I didn't get the notes.
Well, there it is on page 2. So you can look at it later. So my point about this is that, and probably more important than anything, because they get thousands of hits a day. WINY Facebook. It's on there. It's already on there. I saw it there earlier today. So you're going to get a lot of exposure. There were a lot of comments on WNY Facebook already. You should look at those. So it's quite an honor. And you know, you're not only a hero, a veteran hero, and certainly you are, having been to all of those dangerous places during very, very dangerous times. A lot of dangerous places, but you know, as Amy was reading those out, I'm thinking that would make a great cruise all of those stops in the Mediterranean, in the Caribbean. But you weren't on a cruise, you were on a 4.5 year cruise of a different type, and you're to be commended for that. One of the things that I wanted to read that's in here, because I think it says it all about you as a person, not only a war veteran or a service veteran, but as a person. The senior officer, W.L. McDowell, LCDR of the United States Navy, stated, and I read this from your DD 214, your discharge papers, that Officer Bell was a highly capable and conscientious technician. His stamina, technical expertise, and leadership capabilities were thoroughly tested in the high-pressure atmosphere of the Persian Gulf, where maintaining maximum weapons systems readiness was essential. It is to his great credit that his equipment did not suffer a single mission-degrading casualty during his entire deployment. Additionally, Petty Officer Bell has a comprehensive knowledge of the entire MK-74 Hatter missile system, and he coordinates and supervised all systems testing and preventive maintenance systems. Petty Officer Bell is well-liked and well-respected by all the officers and crew of the Barney, which you were on for 4.5 years. He set a personal example in his conduct and professionalism that most can only hope to match. There's a lot being said here about you, John. As a technician, he is extremely competent and highly knowledgeable, and he actively supports the command's affirmative action goals and programs. I mean, that says it all about a human being. And in those 2 paragraphs, you know, your commanding officer took time to write that about you, you know, when you were, just before you were discharged. So I wanted folks to know about that. Also, you know, you're a community leader. People know the name John Bell, because you've been involved in all things community, as Amy has said. 2-time commanding officer of the VFW post here in town, a long time member, over 30 years, a long-time member of the American Legion, a selectman for 2 years serving the town of Thompson, as well as some of those other boards that Amy mentioned, and the other civic organizations. You're a well-rounded person. You're a great family person. You're a great community person. And from the bottom of my heart, and I've known you for a long time, we played golf, you alluded to it a little while ago, at Brentwood, when we used to go up annually to play Brentwood 36 holes in New Hampshire on an overnight with 20 to 30 other golfers. You were a great golfer then and a great friend. So you are just a wonderful, all-around great person that the town of Thompson is honored to be able to say to you, thank you for everything that you've done in the military, but also in your community and personal and family life. So thank you very, very much. And I think Amy would like to present you now with a wonderful plaque.
Thank you very much.
All right, the town of Thompson honors Veteran of the Month, John L. Bell Senior, United States Navy, 1976 to 1982, disabled American veteran, Iran hostage crisis era, 4-year deployment on USS Barney guided missile destroyer D6, fire control technician, missile first class petty officer, E6, Persian Gulf Strait of Hormuz. Why do you put these words on here?
That's all right. That's where it was. Straight up.
Senior Lieutenant in State of Connecticut Department of Corrections. Thank you for your service to my grateful community.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to thank Rini and this committee for selecting me. Thanks the Board of Selectmen, my family, my wife Kathy.
Yeah, why don't you introduce your family?
Yeah, Kathy Bell, John Bell Jr., Louis Bell, and Brendan Bell, my grandson. Very nice, and I really appreciate it.
They should be.
Thank you for the people of the town of Thompson. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
John,
Yes,
I wanted to say congratulations, and I'm very sorry that I could not be there in person tonight. When I saw that you had been selected to be the Veteran of the Month, I was so disappointed to realize I would be out of town. But just to share a little bit about John, John and I first met 25 years ago, when you say?
Holly Community College.
Yeah, at Quinebaug Community College, and ironically enough, in a government class.
Yeah,
Where we spent a semester learning about US government.
yeah,
And I think maybe it inspired you, because I know it inspired me to go on to become more politically active than I am, but also to be a little more rounded in my community. And I think that you have surpassed what I have accomplished in your time, and you are truly a hero. And I am so honored to be your friend and part of the community that you live in.
thanks
So
a million.
thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Maybe we should take.
We usually do a photo, definitely get your family together,
Thanks, Randy. Sorry.
John?
You're welcome.
gather, make it just the wall, we usually do a photo, you gotta get a photo.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Proud to be a resident this time, with you, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. You know, she was,
Get in the middle.
I had
Make sure you get everybody.
Yeah, perfect. Looks good.
How about one with you, Amy, you and I, and maybe Paul, or? Would you like to take it? Well, Kathy, you too.
We just joined it. Oh, okay, we just joined it.
Count everybody down. There we go.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. No problem.
Very much. Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely, for sure. You guys can stick around for the rest of the selectmen's meeting if you want, or not, it's totally up to you.
All right, we're gonna move on to agenda item 8, Community Health Center requests for use of the Thompson Library parking lot once per month for their maternal mobile health unit, and Anna Rogers is here tonight to discuss what this is all about. Anna.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. I'm joined by Yvette Highsmith. She is our Vice President of the Eastern Region for Community Health Center, Inc. And we're here to request parking space at the Thompson Library once a month for 4 hours a month. And I'll have Yvette talk a little bit more about that.
So thank you so much, Anna, and good evening, everyone, and to the Board of Selectmen. Thank you for your service to the community. As Anna said, I'm Yvette Highsmith and serve as the Regional Vice President for Community Health Center, Inc. We are a statewide, federally qualified health center. We provide health services to about 100,000 Connecticut residents in 15 cities or towns across the state, and are also delivering some form of health services in 150 schools across the state. And at the end of last year, the Connecticut Department of Public Health partnered with us to provide this maternal mobile health unit in Windham County to reach women who may be disconnected from accessing health services for a variety of reasons, due to scheduling or transportation or just not being aware of resources. And this really came with the closing of birthing centers. The state just wanted to ensure that we weren't delaying care, or that women were not, that we could remove some of the barriers that might exist around accessing care. So Anna is leading up this project with us. We have a sort of a medium-sized unit that's not a bus, it's not a passenger-sized bus, it's kind of in between a big box van size that we have been taking around. We have a couple that we use across the state, but since we've launched this in April, was it, Anna? We are in Willimantic, Putnam, Plainfield. Recently have added Killingly, and would like to add Thompson to kind of our calendar of where we bring the vehicle to. Our goal is to be kind of in the pathway that folks normally take as they're going about their day. We can provide access to women's health services, so kind of general GYN support, but also we can do that first prenatal visit for anyone who is not yet connected to an OBGYN. Our goal is not to be ongoing care. Our goal is to do some outreach, to identify individuals, and then give them really high touch support and connection to a provider that can provide that ongoing care. We've been, I would say, really successful in the sense of women have gotten some women's health services. We saw a pregnant patient last week, and so are really looking to enhance and expand our presence throughout the county. And so would the ask is for approval to be able to park in the parking lot at the library, again, to be that resource for anyone who needs to get connected to ongoing care, be it primary care or women's health services or prenatal support. We are all self-contained. The nicety would be if our staff would have an opportunity to use a restroom at the library if needed. We're looking to be there half a day initially, and again, just one day out of the week. Or it's a month, one day a month, right, Anna? Excuse me for that. Any questions or additional information that we can provide?
Yeah, I guess my one question, well, actually, maybe I have, you answered the one that I had, which was how many days per week were you or per month were you looking at?
Month is half a day per month.
One day per month. So my only other question, because I think there might be some constituents, Thompson is a little bit more of a conservative town compared to other parts of Connecticut. So I guess the one question would be, this is prenatal care. This isn't family planning services. Or is it family services?
So for adults, it is family planning services. So we could do an exam and provide a contraceptive for an adult.
Oh, okay.
If that's what you mean by
I had the
family
same
planning.
question. I had the same question. And what other services do you provide other than prenatal care and birth control or contraceptive?
So women's health, so if someone needs cancer prevention screening, if a pap smear is needed, if a clinical breast exam is needed, we do blood pressure check. We are able to do some immunizations. If someone needs a flu shot, we are able to do that as well. We do not prescribe anything, so we do not have contraceptives on the van. If that would be by a prescription, but we don't have any medication on the van that we are dispensing.
And are you a fee-for-service nonprofit?
Yes, we are. So if anyone has insurance coverage, they would provide that information to us and we would bill their insurance for the visit. If they do not have insurance coverage, we have a tiered sliding fee scale that is based on income and family size. And if someone needs that discount waived down even further, we do that as well. As a federally qualified health center, we provide care to everyone regardless of their ability to pay. So if someone was not covered by insurance, was not able to pay for their visit, we would waive that down. We also have someone who is a deemed entity for Department of Social Services. So we are able to assist with applying for public benefits if someone is interested in that support as well.
I know Jared's in, our director, library director, Jared Jacobone is in the Zoom room. Jared, if you're listening, do you know, is the library board of trustees thumbs up with using the bathrooms, et cetera? They're probably fine with that.
Yeah,
Or
I
have
mean,
you not
it's,
approached them yet?
yeah, I mean, if they're coming in as a patron to use the bathroom and it seems like it's just staff having a bathroom break or something like that, I mean, it's free and open to the public.
Yeah, right, okay.
But is the library board aware? Has this been presented to them?
I've talked with a couple of members of it. I can bring it further to them.
But it has not been presented to them.
Yeah, because I thought that this was something that would be in the parking lot of the library, and I know that that falls under town jurisdiction. In terms of use of restroom, if somebody wants to use the restroom, I mean, as the understanding that I have is if they're just using it for a restroom break, um, I can't say no to somebody having to use the restroom.
Right. And I'm curious as to why we're looking at the library parking lot.
It's probably the largest parking lot in town that can accommodate. I can understand why. It's the largest parking lot that can accommodate the parking spaces for the mobile health unit and then the staff vehicles. So that kind of made sense to me. So,
But it's town property. I just wondered if there was a private entity that had been considered. Are all the other towns on town property that you're visiting?
Yes, actually, we're at the library in other communities as well.
yeah, I know, I guess Suzanne's question is kind of interesting because I would say, I mean, just down the street from the library, right off of 395, there's the health clinic.
That's what I was thinking is it would make almost more sense that it would be.
Unless you're trying to be part of the community and be more
We are-
inside
we're-
the community.
We're trying to be a part of the community. So it's, as you know, very community specific, and really the recommendations have come from the community around where we should be. As I was saying earlier, we really kind of want to be in the pathway of where people are sort of traversing. We're not looking to serve a whole lot of people. Remember these are women, our goal is pregnant women. And then sort of the subset are women who maybe have not gotten women's health support for one reason or another, and see the van and say, you know what, I probably need to get a pap smear. I haven't had one in a long time or something. We are in some places partnered with other nonprofits and on that property. But in most places we're in sort of kind of embedded in the highest foot traffic area in communities. And by foot traffic, I mean foot traffic or car traffic, but where like kind of the hubs of where people gather for information as well as for services. If you think there's another location that we should look at, we are certainly open to that. This is, we want to do this in partnership with the community at large.
So are you a duplicate of services as to what the health center would be providing?
The health center does not provide prenatal, so no, yeah.
And here's my big question. Are you able to service individuals under 18 without parental permission?
So there are adolescent health services that are deemed as confidential by the Department of Public Health in the state of Connecticut. Prenatal services do not qualify for that. So we would need to have parent or guardian permission for anyone under 18 for prenatal services.
Okay. Amy, do we want to vote on this or do we want to wait until Ken is here?
I was thinking that we could wait for Ken.
Yeah.
Could share the video with him. I think it's a big decision.
I kind of do too, because we're almost like renting space without charging. I don't want this to
Oh.
become a habit of, do you know what I mean?
Right. But it's important for the community. It's something definitely to think about.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I agree. Was
I'd
there
rather
anything-
have the three of us decide on this.
I agree. Yvette or Anna, is there anything else, just because we're gonna be sharing this with our third selectman?
Can I just make one? I'd also like for the board of trustees, the library board of trustees to have reviewed this, and if they have any reservations or concerns
To share with us.
to share with us.
We'll bring it up at the next Board of Trustees meeting. This kind of occurred in between
Yes.
our sessions.
Yep,
I did talk to a couple of board members to let them know of it. But this will be on the agenda next time.
thank you, Jared.
Thanks,
Yep.
Jared.
No problem.
So what happens, the unit itself,
Mhm.
do you utilize it all through the winter months as well, or?
Yes. So again, it's all a self-contained, vehicle, and while this maternal health unit is newer to us through this ask that the Department of Public Health has posed us with, we have several others. We have two that are dental in focus, right? That they go out and address oral health services. And then we have another that is primary care in focus. That is, that goes out, it's basically street medicine, right? To ensure that there's access for people who, for a variety of reasons, may not come into a health center. This one is very specific to women's health services. So that's all that we're providing. It is staffed with a certified nurse midwife, right? So her specialty is women's health and prenatal care. But again, our goal is not to replace any providers in the community. We're really looking for the onesie twosies, right? The folks who just are not connected to care, who may end up not getting any health care until time for birth of a child, which we know is not good for mother or baby, or who may want to be in a position to make a decision about when they conceive a child, and to get some women's health services to ensure that that doesn't happen until they're ready, through, family planning and contraceptive care.
How do people go about making an appointment? Is it walk-in? Is it?
It's
Okay.
both. So
Okay.
we have the ability that you could go to our website and you can make an appointment, or just walk up. We are, this is really, again, it is about just-in-time access to care. So it's great if you can make an appointment. If you see our calendar, if somebody needs to navigate a work or a school schedule or something. But also we are readily available to see anyone who needs to be seen during that window of time that we're there.
And I have another question. If I wanted to tour
Mhm.
one of these units, where did you say, where are you currently
We
stationed
would
at?
love that. Anna will let you know
Yes.
where you can find us.
Okay,
I
great.
am going to put the link to our calendar in the chat if that
Okay.
is okay. And
Yeah.
we are in Willimantic every Thursday. We're there the second and fourth Wednesday at Wyndham Heights Apartments. We're in Plainfield most Mondays. We're going to be at the YMCA in Putnam twice a month, and we'll be at the Putnam Library as well twice a month.
Okay, yeah, send me that, send or put in the chat that
Perfect.
calendar. Obviously Putnam or Plainfield stands out as,
Putnam is much closer, and since they have two spots, maybe we could go together.
yeah, I think so. That would be great.
We'll be at the YMCA this coming Monday on the 8th from 3 to 7.
The 8th, 3 to 7.
We can also share, we recently had the state rep come by, and maybe we want to share the link to our Facebook page so you can see.
Chris Stewart or
It was. Sorry, just looking that up really quick. Jeff Gordon.
Oh, okay.
He's
And-
actually state senator.
Yes, you're right. I apologize. And he's a
We
a
don't want to demote
physician.
him.
No, we
Yes,
do
he is a
not.
doctor.
He's a physician and he was really impressed with the setup. And he was looking at it through that lens of both representing his constituents, but also through kind of the medical lens. And he was very impressed with our both the staff, but also the setup. We are Joint Commission accredited as well as licensed by the Department of Public Health. So the Joint Commission is the gold standard for any healthcare facility, both inpatient and outpatient. We're outpatient. And so we meet really rigorous requirements around the clinical services we provide, the certification of our staff, also our equipment. And then the Department of Public Health also inspects the mobile health units for licensure.
Good to know.
Great. Excellent. Thank you for coming in tonight to present.
Thank you for giving us such detailed information too.
Right.
Yeah,
And,
it's our pleasure. We want you to have a comfort level about what's in your community and also know, because number one, we want you to talk about it, right? We want this to be a part of the community and not something that's just sort of coming in and out and not serving. Our goal is to really reach, those few women who need the service, to be able to reach them with ease and to provide the care with dignity and respect, and to make sure that they are connected for the ongoing care that they need for themselves and their child once born. So we appreciate you, and we thank you for all that you do.
Thank you.
thank
right.
you.
Thank you
Beth.
so
Thanks,
much.
Anna.
All
We'll be
right,
in-
we look forward to
we'll,
hearing back from you.
I'll share this with our other selectman, Mr. Beausoleil, and then at our next meeting, which is September 16th, we'll have it on the agenda again and we'll be able to weigh in and make a decision. And in the meantime, Suzanne and I will certainly go visit.
Yeah.
Great. I
Wonderful.
look forward to it. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
All right.
Take
Have
care.
a good rest of the night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
All right, moving on.
Where are we at?
Agenda item 9, Planning and Zoning Commission recommendations. Again, I think this is something we should wait for Ken for.
Yep, I think we
but-
should skip right over it unless you want to talk about it, but I definitely
Yeah,
think we
I
need
guess
to
we
wait
can,
for Ken.
we can skip over it and then
Yep.
just wait and weigh in. The next item is something that we don't need all 3 signatures, or it's just for me, but what are your thoughts on the proclamation for National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week?
I mean, it's
I mean, it's
pretty-
adult education for
it's
the.
just, yeah, it's pretty,
I was in favor of it because of joining in with the proclamation, only because for so many young adults and even older adults who might not have received their high school credential. I just always think about the people that fall through the cracks, and in their later years, they decide to start learning again.
well, I think I'm one of those
Yeah.
who went back to college after 20 years.
Well, I
No,
went much later too.
yeah, that's right. I mean, yeah, sure. This is from EastCon. It's just promoting adult education is what it is.
Correct. And they're just looking for
For
towns.
family and literacy. Yeah, I think it's a good endorsement.
I will make a motion, that the town of Thompson, join on with proclaiming, and I'll just read through it all, proclaiming the National Adult Education and Family Literacy Week, September 15th through the 19th, 2025. Whereas more than 43 million Americans can't read or write at the most basic level, while 62.7 million lack basic math skills, as well as the credentials and skills necessary to succeed in post-secondary education. And whereas in Connecticut, there are 174,269 working age adults 18 to 64, without a high school credential. And whereas in Connecticut, there are 210,603 adults who do not speak English well or at all. And whereas in 2023 to 2024, Connecticut's adult education programs provided support for just under 20,000 adult learners. And whereas American Action Forum estimates that America is short an estimated 7.5 million private sector workers across all skill levels. And whereas adult education programs contribute to solving these challenges by helping Americans move along the continuum in their educational journey to achieve basic skills and get prepared for career and college. And whereas adult education in Connecticut offers low-cost, high-value programs in every community focused on providing a high school credential, citizenship training, English as a second language, digital literacy, and workforce development skills designed to elevate the economic self-sufficiency of our citizens. And whereas the state of Connecticut celebrates Adult Education and Family Literacy Week as a proud participant in the National Educate and Elevate campaign, which helps our citizens learn about all adult education options to attain their professional and personal goals. And therefore, the Board of Selectmen will proclaim September 15th through the 19th, 2025 as Adult Education and Family Literacy Week. I'll make that motion that we
Yeah, I'll second it.
adopt this proclamation. Any other discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor of adopting this proclamation as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Agenda item 11, new hire, recreation before and after school program, Billy Lewis. The Recreation Department is nominating the following candidate for hire at the 2025-26 school year, Billy Lewis. It lists out his hourly wage and expected hours per week.
I'll make that motion.
So Suzanne has the motion. I'll second her motion that we approve the new hire to the recreation before and after school program, Billy Lewis. Any discussion? Okay, all in
No.
favor of approving the new hire, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have an applicant. If you recall, at the last Board of Selectmen meeting, we moved up Greg Corso, who was the alternate on Inland's Wetlands.
Mm-hmm.
Inland's Wetlands is strictly appointed. It's not an elected position, as we know. So now there's an alternate seat open, and lo and behold, Robert J. Mooney Jr. resides at 66 Logie Road, has expressed an interest and presented his application. I'll make a motion that we appoint Robert J. Mooney Jr. To serve as the alternate member on the Inland Wetlands Commission with the term to end March 15th, 2029.
And I'll second that.
All right, so up for discussion.
It's actually my neighbor.
Have you ever met him?
A couple of times.
Yeah, because did he have a house there before?
Yeah, and they took down a house
Yeah,
and then they rebuilt.
right.
It's almost done.
Yeah, they're just finishing up. They've made some changes to the site plan. And they're adding some retaining walls that wasn't in the initial site plan. I knew that from attending the wetlands meetings.
It- I think they've owned the property for quite a while.
Yeah,
And his wife is Steve Boardwell's sister, I thought.
oh, really? Okay.
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know. He's a nice enough guy. He's been. in
Yeah,
town
very
a
nice
few
guy. Oh,
times.
very, very nice
And,
guy.
and
He's
I
been a
love
good
it
neighbor.
when new people, he was a part-time
Yeah.
resident for 20 years. Now.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
time. I love to see residents get involved and be part of commissions. For a while, we had so many openings, and there's fewer and fewer openings now because so many people are getting involved. Yeah. so-
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
So, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor of approving Robert J. Mooney Jr. to the position of appointing him to the position of alternate member of the Inland Wetlands Commission with a term to expire March 15th, 2029, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Any other business to bring before the board?
Nothing from me.
Okay, we will open the floor back up to citizen comments and we'll start in the room. Any citizen comments? Citizen comments online? All right, seeing none, we have no tax refunds.
Whoa, motion to adjourn.
Suzanne has the motion to adjourn. I will second that motion. It is 7:56 PM. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.